Y'all know me, Big the Legend G, with my co-host Initial D, bringing that heat in a twist street. Grab your popcorn, kick up your feet, sit back, relax. We about to blow. Welcome to our channel, enjoy the show. Ayy.
Hard conversation, brain stimulation, BGID, no imitation. Look, pull up on the mic, two pretty guys is rocking the night. Sub on YouTube and follow on Twitch. I guarantee it's gonna be a hit. It's showtime.
What up? What it do?
Yeah, folks, LP gonna be dropping in July.
Right. Won't see it coming.
Folks, what's good? Welcome back over to our channel. Two bearded guys. We are back with another episode. We missed last week, but fear not. The Bearded Crusaders are here.
In full effect.
Right. Bro. Now let me ask you a question. How long has your beard been like throughout your whole process of you growing it out?
It has been at least to here, like right at the cut of my V-neck shirt.
Yeah. I think mine was about there, like right about right here.
Mm-hmm.
I would do the that what is it, that comb, the straighten
The high
it
comb.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, straighten it out. Because sometimes us brothers got curly hair,
Mm-hmm.
and it be cheating our link. So
yeah, I think if I were to because I watched it the other day.
Yeah.
So I think if I were to go wet it and do the hot comb throughout, I'm pretty sure it'll be down there. And then I have to hear from my wife and groom yourself. Okay.
But I'm not even allowed to do certain things. Like, first of all, I can't shave my face.
Really?
That's just no. She's like, no, can't do that. The most I could get away with is trimming it down to about skin level. But she wants some sort of facial hair on me. And
I mean, rightfully so, because we're both bald. So
right. We don't have that luxury of having hair on the top of our head now. Even if I had hair on the top of my head, I still probably wear a beard, but still. But what I have been doing is I've been like taking my trimmers and just like cutting like split ends. I'm trying to make it look. I like that full look. To where you can, you can grab it, that much hair, but also like its shape. I don't like that. I think it's a right and a wrong way to wear a beard. Like, I think that some guys, they think just because they can grow a beard that they don't have to do nothing to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They like be all scraggly and they don't comb it, they don't shape it up, and you looking like you're going through midlife crisis or something, man. But I'm like,
no, don't talk about me like that.
Hey, you said it. You said it. So you said it, but yeah, I go through my phases. Sometimes I'll be like, man, getting tired of this beard. But then when I do trim it down, I miss it. I hate it when it's like in that phase of like touching the face, like the skin touching the face. And it takes forever for that fullness to come back. Like, it takes months for me to like get that full look.
That's funny. Yo, Maddie, welcome in, sis. How are we doing? How's the family? How are the pets?
Good.
How was everything? So that's good. That is good. Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed on StreamYard, it's got a little chat box now.
I see it. I noticed it when we got into the yard here, and I was looking over there. I was like, that looked like a little space for some chats.
Yeah. So
looks-
it's actually in beta mode. I was like, shoot, let's try this out, see what it looked like. That way, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Twitch, you can see everybody's comments.
Mhm.
I mean, I know it's a little small, but I mean, it's readable.
I mean, it ain't terrible. It's okay.
Yeah, it ain't too terrible.
Yeah.
It's the nice size to where it's not like covering you up for sure.
Yeah. Man, it says on your topic of beards, I'm so picky about my husband that I trim and shape it for him. Ooh. Okay.
Well, like, I mean, I've had Mrs. Bearded. Well, I ain't gonna say I've asked her to do it. She just does it. But like, she'll get it to where she trims it a little bit too low. Like, I don't like it because I like it to be full.
That full
And I'm
look,
just
yeah.
like, stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, I'm the only one that touches my face. I don't let my wife touch my face. I'll be so it's like a certain way. Like I said, I like the fullness, but for me, it's like back here. Like I try to like keep as much fullness as I can back here.
Yeah.
Some guys I don't like pushback.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to push down like here
too far, yeah.
Because I gotta get this to catch up, and I don't want this all the way over here. And this is I don't like that look, so I'll just do it myself. Hey, Guru, what's up, brother?
Welcome in. Maddie says I've been super busy. I've been beyond busy. I can understand that just with everything that you're doing, but hey, you're doing pretty well. Keep it up, sis.
Being busy, I thought about this the other day. Like, I'm grateful, that I'm grateful that I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that for me, it's just a matter of time management.
Yeah,
just managing my time a little bit better, because so I don't make everything about work and everything about just priorities.
Yeah,
and just do some things that I want to do too, which I have been doing, by the way. So this past, let me see, this has been a pretty good week for me. Tuesday, I went on a nature hike. So
okay.
I didn't have to work early in the morning. I got up and drank my coffee, did my Bible study and stuff over here, prayed, got up, worked out. And then I went to this nature trail that we have because where we live at, we stay about maybe 7 minutes, about 7 minutes away from here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the University of West Florida's campus. So it's a huge campus. Yeah. And they have a nature trail. It's so large that you can get lost if you're not careful. So because it's happened to us before.
Mm-hmm.
Like about 5 years ago, we got lost out there, and everybody kind of got turned off. It's like, no, Dad, we're not going back out there with you.
That's funny.
Mm-mm.
That is funny.
Let's see. Maddie says, being a mom, foster mom for a cat rescue for the cat rescue school garden, trying to get small business going again.
There you go.
Word.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, Maddie. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, that building phase is always the toughest.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to like get into entrepreneurship, and I definitely support that for sure. But much like everything that you do, it's always rough in the beginning phases. Slow, rough, and I always heard that like coming up, like when you start a business, you're gonna have some rough patches in the beginning.
Right.
But once you get over it, let things run itself, it's smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we appreciate you guys being here. I know I hadn't told y'all how my week has been, but I'll tell you here soon. But we definitely appreciate y'all being here, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. We got a fire episode once again, like we always do. We were actually been talking about this. So next week, obviously, we will be in Houston for DreamCon. This is our second year going, and this year we have decided we're going all out. So we're doing cosplays. So be on the lookout because we are going live. I'm sure he's going to go live on his own. I'm going to go live on my own. We'll also have our wives there. Flash Carter, he'll be back with us. And Bear Project will be going along with one of his buddies. So we got a big group. We're pretty excited about it. And this next episode might be a very special episode. You want to tell them why?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I just don't want to miss next week. Of course, it's going to be really, really epic in Houston, Texas. It will be the first Two Bearded Guys episode that we do in person. So, this is something that we've been wanting to do for like the longest. And it's not like we stay that far from each other, but we stay far enough for it not to be something realistically on a weekly basis. I mean, but you never know what the future may hold. But I know that, since we're going to be in the same place at the same time, we're going to be doing it in person. We didn't do this last year because I think we were in that season of just, what do we want to do with this?
Yeah.
Like, do we want
to go on?
Yeah, are we gonna pick this back up? But now that we're firing on all cylinders, and we're on episode 42, we're taking this seriously. Like, we really are. Like, we started out, just wanting to do something together, make some content together. We started out as it just being something to do and some fun, but as time goes on, 42 episodes in, how much longer does it take for you to say, yeah, I think this is going somewhere?
Right.
And this isn't just something to do. Like, people have been nominating us on for different type of accolades or awards and stuff. So that's a big deal. So next week, like I said, we will be going live. I sent you a message earlier. I think you got it, about how we're going to conduct it and stuff. So we're going to try our best to make it as presentable as we can, and hopefully y'all will enjoy that in-person episode of the Two Bearded Guys podcast. Like, now I don't know if it's going to be an official topic or whatnot, but just don't miss it.
Yeah, we don't know. We may just talk about our experience at DreamCon for the most part.
Yeah. That very well may be the case. Carlos, wait, where are we going? We're going to H-Town, bro. We're going to H-Town. We're going to Houston, Texas next week, DreamCon. It was almost like it was yesterday that we went, but now it's like, dang, it's back again.
Yep. You're going to be excited. And then, hey, I was thinking about this. Well, we could talk about it after the podcast, after the episode. Carlos, we're doing good, man. How are you doing? How is the family? Deep Web, welcome in. How we feeling? We doing good on this side of town.
All good this way. Welcome on in.
Yep.
Carlos, I'm doing good, brother. Doing good.
Yep.
Appreciate you for reaching out earlier.
So I guess D told you guys how his week has been. I hadn't told y'all, so here goes nothing. My week it's actually been pretty good. Last week, a couple weeks ago we had acquired a new hospital, so we had to do a lot of on-site testing and everything, where our director so graciously let us pick a day to have off just to kind of reset. So I took last Friday off, and it was so amazing. I didn't do nothing. I was just a whole bum. But this week was pretty good. You know, work was steady. And Tuesday we actually had a picnic for our department. Um, Kind of a little town hall meeting, kind of giving us updates about things, and we had some burgers and all that good stuff out by the the lake. It's pretty cool. But this week, actually tomorrow, we'll be going out of town. Back to back Texas trips. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a pretty good week, and I'll be off tomorrow, so I'm not gonna do anything tomorrow either until we leave. And been streaming, which I'm sure it's been okay.
Yeah,
you know, I can't say it's like the official comeback, but I mean, I've been a little bit more consistent with it. You know, we actually did a product review of this company that sent me a sample box. It's called Smacking Sunflower Seeds. I don't know how many of y'all have heard of that company. I know they advertise a lot, but they sent me a sample box and we did a product review live on Tuesday actually, and it went pretty well. So that was always fun.
Nice. Well, you know, since you mentioned streaming, I might as well go ahead and put it out there. You know, me and you talked about this earlier.
Sit on the edge of your seats.
A few of y'all already know about this that's in here because I put it on Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I put it on Instagram earlier. So I will no longer be streaming on the platform of Twitch. This isn't one of those, oh, I'm just going to stop streaming and just abandon my profile. I made the decision to actually permanently disable my account. Okay. So, and Carlos, I know you're here, and I heard what you told me earlier, but just hear me out. Hear me out, okay? I didn't think that people would respond to it like the way that they did on Instagram. I really didn't. I didn't think they would respond to it like that because I haven't streamed in like nearly 5 months, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So here's the thing, y'all. Like when I started doing this, it was like in a time period and I'm kind of repeating what I said in my video on Instagram, but you know, when I picked this up, it was at a time period of my life where I was going through a lot. I was literally surrounded by death in the midst of a pandemic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm not trying to like turn the tide of this stream. I'm just trying to give context before we get into our topic. But like my stepdad, I lost my stepdad February of 2020. I lost my mentor a couple months later in May of 2020. He died of leukemia. And then my grandmother passed away a week before Christmas in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like left, right, hook. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing myself. And everything is shut down. Businesses are shut down. And I started hearing about Twitch. So, you know, me and my wife and some family members actually came to the platform. And without getting into any details, I had a lot of fun with it. I met a lot of people. I felt like I was on a direction of potentially becoming very large. But I dropped the ball because people started going back to work. People weren't afraid to spend money. And I started, started prioritizing work again and not prioritizing Twitch. And I didn't know that, you know, if you hit the pause button, it's almost like you giving yourself the guillotine with this. I didn't realize how hard it would be to gain momentum again. and that you had to choose between your life and this internet metaverse of people that you really don't know and that really don't care about you, if I'm being honest. So my channel was probably the most successful around 2021 and 2, and then it kind of started going downhill from there. And it seems like no matter what I did, no matter what I tried to do, um, even the things that worked for me from the beginning didn't seem to work anymore. And I get it, and I respect the game because things are constantly evolving, things are constantly changing. And I've talked to several streamers like over the course of years, and they would all just tell me the same thing. Like, you got all the tools, but you just need the eyes on you. You just need the eyes on you. And I'm like, well, I'm just not willing to do that. All of the things that it takes to get there. So, this year, of course, life happened in a large way. I actually had a lot of plans for my channel this year, like a lot. I'm sure you remember. I was
We talked a lot about it. Yep.
Yeah, and I was talking to my wife about that the other day too. I said I didn't plan for any of this to occur, but then when things started changing this year, and we got the opportunity to actually move into my house, and then business started like picking up, I had no choice but to put it down. So now some people are probably wondering, why permanently disable it? Well, the channel's dead. I mean, for lack of a better words, it's it is dead. And I know a lot of like content creators would think that sounds negative and not really believing in themselves, but it's not that I don't believe in myself. I absolutely do believe in myself. I know I'm a great content creator, and but I also am not stupid either when it comes to a particular platform. If it's not working, it's just not working. Some platforms work better for others than some.
Yeah.
Some people, Twitch is that place, and then they don't grow on YouTube. For me, it's the opposite. So my growth has happened on YouTube and TikTok. That's what and especially TikTok now. TikTok is like really taking off for me right now. And like I said, no matter what I would do with Twitch, it's just like I just can't keep trying to like give this thing CPR. Like I'm gonna let it go quickly. So it's not a goodbye by any means. You know what I mean? It's just goodbye to the purple side. That's it. So I explained this in my Instagram video that YouTube is still gonna be a thing. I may try my luck over on Kick and just kind of see how things go. But as for Twitch, it's too much that goes on the platform for me to really stick around and care, so to speak. So, I still support any and everybody who chooses to stay on the platform and do what they want to do. But as for me, it's just letting it go.
Right.
That's it.
Yep. And hey, that's the way of the world, y'all. It's no point of being a dead horse. And what do they say? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, hoping for a different result.
Yeah. And that was me for a long time. And then I just, you ever just saw the writing on the wall and you pretend like it's not there? Like, nah, it's there. It's there. I think we all had that potential to be in a particular position, but the way that this platform is designed, you have to like act a certain way to get into certain places. You have to do certain things. You have to speak a certain way to get in certain places on this platform. And some of that stuff I'm just not willing to do. So, but
yep.
All right, well, enough of that. He said, "You just kicking it around." Yeah, Carlos, I'm just kicking the can down the road, just hoping for the best with my hands in my pocket, bro. All right, man. We've been chatterboxing for 20 minutes here. We ain't even touched our topic, man. Let's just go ahead and get into this, man.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see. All right, so there is our topic of the day: the influence of music. Now, if there's anybody who says that they're not influenced by music, they're lying. I'm gonna tell you why. Have you ever just, I don't know, let's been somewhere like a restaurant or the mall or somewhere, and you just hear something over the speaker, like music playing, like any type of music, and if it registers with your mind or your spirit, you just start moving, like just maybe going side to side, like, or your feet start moving, like.
Especially if it's a song I know. Oh
Look,
yeah.
music, there is power in music. Music comes from heaven, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, life without music would be, it probably wouldn't even be any life, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
You know, it would be really, really dull without music, real dull. But, you know, in this episode, you know, we wanted to talk about, you know, does music play a role when it comes to attitudes, when it comes to how people treat one another, when it comes to one's actions, contributing to character traits. That's what we want to talk about, because I personally feel like music has a role in all of that. All of that. Carlos says, real quick to catch up. Did he write another comment after that?
No.
Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the first. Hold on. Oh, family's okay. Dad was released from hospital, is recovering from surgery. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that he's doing better.
Yes.
That's good. That's good, man. That's what's up, man. We're going to keep him in prayer. For sure. Yeah, surgery is, I think we hear that term so much we don't realize what it is. You know, it's the cutting of your body. Like, that's a major.
Right.
That's nothing to like, oh, it's just surgery. Like, nah, man, that's a big deal. All right. Let's get into this, to the first talking point. Favorite music. So let me start with you, brother. What type of music do you like to listen to, or what's your favorite?
Dude, I listen to anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do. I listen to anything. No, rap, R&B, country, rock, alternative rock, heavy metal rock. If it sounds good. Not really big into classical opera-ish. But my main, contemporary Christian hip hop. But the main genres that I really listen to the most is Christian hip hop and country.
Christian hip hop and country. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the one genre that you say you don't really care for is classical. I actually like classical. I do. I didn't know I liked classical until maybe about 11 to 12 years ago or something like that. I didn't realize that when I would listen to it, it would put me in a good mood. You know, it would make me feel at peace and make me feel calm.
Yeah.
So I actually do like classical. So here at home, you know, we got Alexa in a couple of different rooms, and we'll play two different type of music. Sometimes we'll play classical. That'll be me. But most of the time we will play smooth jazz. We'll play smooth jazz. Now the whole family likes smooth jazz.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's relaxing, it's soothing.
Yeah.
That's the type of vibe that we want at home. You know, we want chilled, we want relaxed, we want just mellow.
Mm-hmm.
And so we will play smooth jazz at home. But like on my own, Christian rap, of course, I do like that. Rock, metal, I do like that, especially when I work out.
Oh, most definitely.
that does it for me a lot. Like I recently got put onto a group. You ever heard of Chevelle?
Oh,
Yeah.
The
Look,
Red. Oh my gosh.
man, look, I've been listening to the Red on repeat in the gym, man. I'm like, man,
Ooh.
yeah. So it's some bands out there. I don't listen to a lot of them, but there's some I can play on repeat. I can play on repeat for sure.
That's me. That is definitely me.
I like video game music, like soundtracks. I like
Mhm.
that. Old school video game music or something from now. Synthwave. I like synthwave.
Okay.
That kind of sounds like it has that Tron type of sound.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Kind of like EDM. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. What else do I like?
Matter of fact, chat, y'all go ahead and put in the comments what type of music you guys like to listen to.
Lo-fi. I like lo-fi.
Okay, yeah, lo-fi. Now that for me, that's more of my type of vibe.
Yeah, I like lo-fi. Just anything that puts me in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
But rock that doesn't really put me in a good mood. Like I said, it just makes me want to get up and do something. But listening to listening to everything else just kind of makes me want to just sit back and chill, relax.
Yeah.
So, Carlos says music really holds a special place in my life. My grandpa C, was a collector of music from his younger and older days. Okay,
Yeah.
what type of music, Carlos?
That's what's up. Now, I will say, I have nothing against classical music.
Mm.
It's just I've been in band too long, and we always play like classical music during concert season. And I was like, this is this is not it.
I got you. Yeah, it's some history there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it'll put me to sleep. If I turn it on, I'm out. Out like a light bulb. To some classical music. So, but have y'all noticed what you didn't hear from either of us? Man. So what are your thoughts on secular hip hop?
Man, growing up, I was never allowed to listen to it. Okay. Like my parents would not let me listen to it at all. I was always, anytime I was in the car with them, it was always like old school R&B, like, the Temptations, people like that, the OJs, or it was gospel music.
Gotcha.
That was always, it was always gospel music on Sundays. And then, old town, Motown stuff, Boys and Me and all that throughout the week. Yeah. Now, my dad, he listened to more talk show hosts than anything.
Right.
When he drove. But when it was my mom's, that's what she would listen to. It wasn't until I got to like high school and was able to drive, I started listening to this other music, the secular hip hop. And I loved it. I mean, because I'm a sucker for like a good beat.
Yeah.
I love a good beat. Even if the song is trash, I love a good beat. So like listening to someone like the Migos, they got good beats.
Right.
But sometimes the song is just straight trash. So
I tell you, most of the people that listen to secular music, 9 times out of 10, it's because of the beat. It's not because they actually like the lyrics. And if they do like the lyrics, then they need to have their heads checked. So growing up for me, I listened to secular rap music a lot, a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really much I wouldn't listen to. Oh my gosh, Tupac, Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, 3 6 Mafia, G Unit, Ja Rule. I mean, everything, Cash Money. I mean, and this was all like middle school, high school, my 20s. I listened to all that. So for me, growing up, my mom, she probably won't even want to admit this now, but it's true. I'm not stupid, and I remember what I heard in the car. They listened to secular rap a lot. Like I said, a lot of some of the artists that I named, Tupac and stuff like that. Keith Sweat, R. Kelly. We in the back seat listening to this. Like that's what we heard. That's what we grew up on.
Because they saw nothing wrong.
Yeah. We didn't listen to gospel music and blues and stuff like that. Now, when I was with my grandparents on the other end, it was nothing but gospel music, and
I forgot about blues.
Blues and Al Green and stuff like that. That's what I grew up on, of course. And as time went on, I just listened to it like when I was younger. But now, of course, obviously I don't listen to it now, and the reason I don't listen to it now is because of the extremely sensitivity of influence that it has on the mind. And my kids, they don't listen to that either. When they're home, everything I just told you they listen to is everything I named. If they hear a song with any type of like vulgarity, they will immediately just turn it off, or they know what's wrong. But I see some parents, they sing songs and they kids right next to them bobbing their heads, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me right now. And it has the kids like shooting their bird, and most of the kids don't even know what they're saying. I remember a while back, it was this woman, she had made a video about a little girl. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Sexy Red, but this little girl was like singing this song called Pound Town. And I'm like, when I first heard the name of the song, I was like, what's that? And man, let me tell you something.
Oh, you poor unfortunate soul.
All I heard was that one part. I'm sure you know what I'm going to say. Well, I ain't even finna repeat it. But let's just say Sexy Red ain't afraid to tell you what her body parts look like. So I heard that song and I'm like, I had to rewind it for a second. I'm like, did she say what I think she said? And she sure did, and put emphasis on it too. I said, y'all got a little girl singing this song? Are you kidding me? So
it's crazy.
Yeah, so man, like, listen, I refuse to allow that into my home. Absolutely refuse. So, which brings me to the next question here. Do you think that the music that you listen to influences your actions and your views? So, what do y'all think, chat? Do you think so? Because I'm pretty sure y'all probably already know what we're gonna say.
For me, and in all honesty, for me personally, I would say yes and no.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say yes because like when you listen to music like rap and it's talking about getting money and going out to the club and stuff like that, that's what I used to do.
Right.
In college, I used to go out and party.
Yeah.
Now the whole doing drugs and catching a body and all this stuff. Now that part, no. Like Maddie said, music is based off my mood, so it just depends on how I feel that day. but like when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to music, it doesn't make me want to go do something. Like particularly rap, rap, it wouldn't make me want to do anything. It wouldn't make me want to go rob a bank or stuff like that. Because that ain't who I am. But to other people that grew up in their life, that's all they know.
I can tell you firsthand, it absolutely can make you do that. Man, look, I ain't gonna say too much, but I'm gonna say this. There's a time period in my life where I was listening to certain rap music, and lyrics were very dark, demonic, and dark. And it made me want to like just go out and break some stuff and touch some people. You know what I'm saying? It did make me want to do that. And just like Maddie thinks that it does have an influence on our actions and our views. I'm gonna explain actions and views in depth. So as far as like actions, 2003. This is when like 2002 or 2003. I think this is when T.I. came out. He came out like before that, but then he came back with trap music. And I think that album, I forgot the name of the first album, but I think trap music was the one that put him on the map because he came out with 24s. So you had that, then you had Rotten Spinners and all these other like songs about chrome rims on your vehicle. That made me go out and get chrome rims on my car. I never will forget that day. I went and got some chrome rims on my vehicle, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm riding 20s, they clean and all this stuff that made my car drive like trash, but still I had 20. I said, who cares? They don't tell you that part. They don't tell you that. They just say, put these on your car because if you don't, you're a loser. So that was that. So as far as like actions, and then does it influence views? I think it influences our provision on life. Like it causes young men to look at women in a derogatory way because of the rappers that they listen to. Like most of these rappers are not talking positively about women.
Yeah.
They're saying,
not at all.
No, they're degrading them, they're talking down, they're saying all different type of things to diminish their worth. And this is all you listen to. Like, how does it make sense for this to be the only thing you listen to and then have respect for women?
Yep. Vice versa, because the women do the men the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. Because some of these female rappers is, man, I hear them, I'm like, wow, y'all just don't care no more. And because y'all don't care, you got these women listening to you. And a lot of them, they'll never admit it, but they idolize a lot of these rappers. So let me get off of rap for a second. And let's just go to just another genre like death metal, for instance. You know what I'm saying?
That's a full emo stage.
Look,
suicidal thoughts.
I see some of the most depressing looking people. Looking like Marilyn Manson himself. Like I remember one time I was walking in the store. I saw this male and female. That's the best way I can put them. They both look like they came out the grave. Like they looked pale. They looked just depressed, tired, and they had this all black emo-ish look. Definitely don't look like they listen to Christian rap or gospel music. They look like they listen to like depressing stuff. There's some music out here that sounds literally depressing. And it makes them sit there and just dwell in how they feel, their feelings of sorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like there's some music out there that is so powerful that it can control your feelings and shift what direction in which you go as far as like how you feel. You know, when I listen to worship music, I feel amazing. Nothing makes me feel the way that worship music feels. Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
no, I agree.
Because
I agree.
that's your spirit is actually in step with that.
Yeah.
Our spirit is not really in step with anything else that we listen to. But if it's glorifying God, oh gosh.
Bro, there's always one song that I hear that it gets me like almost on the verge of tears. Cause it's a really great song. And it's like, man, and not, and you know, I'm really not that emotional of a person, but like when the song comes on and I start singing it, like I start feeling some type of way. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of songs. Like I watch my wife, you know, like we're at church, and she's and we're like, you know, just singing and stuff, and then a particular song will come on, and she'll start crying and getting emotional. Like I don't see her ever do that to nothing else.
yeah,
Nor have I ever seen her cry to any type of music. I've known her for 21 years, but let it be something praising God. It's just bam, like wow. It just hit, as they say. It just hits different.
Yep. It definitely does. We should listen to a song with this reasoning, decent communicative message just for fun. The message is not bad, but not really thought inducing. Music that just makes you dance. Now, I do like a good song that can make me dance. Now, to that extent, if it's like, you know, if it's a rap song that's got like some kind of dance to it, or like a country song that's got a line dance, or any type of song that's got a line dance, oh yeah, I'm cool with that.
I remember back in 2003 or 4, we used to go to the club, and they would play was that From the Window to the Wall, man. That right there was just that made that nobody was fighting when they heard that. Everyone was just dancing. There was no trouble.
Let that nook, if you buck come on, it was over.
Let's go ahead and get out of here now.
Time to go.
Time to go, man.
Last call for alcohol.
I heard that song a little while ago. I had to turn it off, man. I had to turn it off. I'm like, man, you start doing that skip. You know what I'm talking about. You start, hey, if you know, you start doing that skip. I'm like, it's trouble.
It's trouble in paradise.
I remember they used to say, man, we don't play. They would tell the DJs, don't play that song. These people drunk, don't play that song.
They come in the club shaking their dreads.
But again, the influence that music has on people is so real, man. It's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. And I feel like you gotta be careful, folks. You gotta be. I know we sitting up here. It sounds like we're joking and stuff, but real talk, y'all gotta be careful what you let into your spirit, man.
Yeah, and I mean, and I mean, you gotta also realize where music actually came from. It came from Lucifer. He was the angel of worship before he got cast out. So
it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense as to why most music has a negative influence. Not all music, but a whole lot of it has negative influence. There's negative influence in secular rap. There's negative influence in R&B. Now, some people might be like, how is it negative influence in R&B? Yeah, it is. It's just
I
in a
cheated.
different listen. It's just in a different tone.
I cheated.
Do you remember that Snoop Dogg song with Pharrell?
Mm-hmm.
Drop it like it's hard. Drop it like it's hard. You remember the part where Pharrell
Mm-hmm.
said, "Cheat on your man. That's how you get in his head."
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that, man. Like, you know, just throwing stuff out there that makes people like, they're like, oh yeah, really? You know, so yeah, the R&B music is definitely is dangerous too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's go back to these comments. We got a couple of comments in here. Matic says the music is based on my mood. If I'm being motivated and productive, it's 2000s pops. Okay, like NSYNC, Backstreet
Oh, okay.
Boys.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
That's okay.
If I'm just it's country. Now, are we talking like this new type of country? Or are we talking old school country like Dolly Parton, Alan Jackson type
He going down
country?
the list.
Look, I'm telling you, man, I love music now.
Just like you said, you don't care for classical. That's how I feel about country. You know. Now, if there's something, if you feel like there's a country song you think I would like, I'm open to it.
I got one for you. Don't worry, I got one for you.
Okay.
Album just dropped last week. I got you.
Okay.
Let's see. She said, if I'm in a funk, it's stuff like Three Doors Down, Eminem, Nickelback. Okay, so you talking like Renegade Eminem, like what was the song? The Mockingbird song, kind of cleaning out my closet, Eminem. You know, if I'm making candles, it's Celtic instrumentals. Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that. I like that.
Celtic music.
I like
my
that.
gosh, yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see. Carlos says, I'm gonna pop it up on the screen here. So
Make me want to get a battle axe or something.
Right. Some genres are very Latin America based. Song is mainly from Cuba. Is that merengue and bata, mainly from Dominican Republic. Salsa, baladas, ballads, and English from all over the place. Rock in Espanol, lots of English music genres. That's what's up.
I like Carlos Santana.
Oh my gosh,
dude! I think I was eating somewhere and I heard a song from the Supernatural album.
Mm-hmm.
I like every song on that album. That album is about it's probably 23, 4 years old. But every song on that album is fire.
I believe it. Because he was a great guitarist.
Yeah. Oh,
great. Yeah. Come on, Carlos. You gonna make me sing that part. Don't make me do that. They don't know nothing about that.
Oh. So we all agree that music has an influence on our actions and our views. So all right. So this question here, it doesn't necessarily have to pertain to one community. You know, I remember when I put this in here, I was thinking about our community because it's the community that, you know, I grew up in. It's a community where I witnessed, you know, and then I still see affected to this day. But, you know, I guess we can also say that all communities as well. But I say hip hop culture because the mass majority of people that embrace hip hop culture are of African American descent. And feel free to answer this question, folks, as honest as you possibly can. You do not have to be afraid of what you say, because, you know, we're all about truth over here. And I want people to actually like put it out there so that, you know, for awareness sake. But has hip hop culture had a positive impact on the Black community? does anybody think that it actually had a positive impact on the community in any way?
It depends,
Okay.
because there are certain rappers that don't rap about killing and drugs and money and women. You know, you got rappers like Lupe Fiasco that actually raps about stuff, like real stuff. You know, I think there was one. Lupe is a storyteller. You know, there's a song on one of his albums called "Hurts Me Soul," and he's talking like real life stuff.
But do you feel like he has enough reach though? On like some of these other rappers out here, or is he kind of, or because he chooses to rap about the things that he does, they don't really like highlight him like that.
I mean, he was well known. Like that was somebody that me and my bros we listened to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was someone else I was thinking of.
Would you still listen to him today?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. You know, he actually has a song about the Ethiopian king back in the day that was really good, because I never knew who this person was, and it was a really good song. I would say J. Cole when he first came out, because he was kind of along the Lupe Fiasco side where he talked about, you know, stuff like that. But there was somebody else I was thinking about.
A Tribe Called Quest.
Them. I mean,
there are some artists out there that are not spreading that toxic message. They're out there. They are out there. It's just now we have what they've placed in front of people, or who they've chosen to highlight. I'd say they just get so much airtime and so much play. It just almost makes you feel like it's a conspiracy, you know, that they put these people in the front, and then the artists that are actually rapping, acronym RAP, rhymes and poetry.
Yeah,
that's what rap stands for. They don't really get that spotlight or that airtime, you know, like a lot of these other guys and women out here that they keep flaunting in front of your face. You know, Drake and Cardi B and Doja Cat and Sexy Red and all these other people that they keep. It's like they're here and everybody else is back here, and you got to get past them just to find a shred of positivity.
Yeah.
When it comes to rap music, because not all rap music is bad. But I'm asking an honest question just from your perspective of looking at the community now, right now. Has hip hop culture had a positive impact?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
Yeah, because now, like you said,
it was the other way around. Like I said, if all of those people that you named were like pushed and stuff, I think that we would see a whole nother community.
Yeah.
You know, I would. Like if we had rappers that rapped about our entrepreneurship and working hard and taking care of your family, instead of talking about baby mama drama and having 6-7 baby moms and the side pieces and stuff like that. Like, this is the behavior that we see when it comes to the culture.
Yep. Yep. You know, you don't like I said, you don't see a lot of rappers talking about real life stuff. You know, one rapper, he finally came to mind. One rapper, Joyner Lucas. He had a song called "I'm Sorry" on one of his albums, and it talked about suicide. Like, and the way he painted the way he painted the picture was like jaw dropping. So I mean, it's like stuff like that. You know, we as a community, we especially in the Black community, because obviously we can say it, Black men have a higher rate of suicide. So, you know, listening to a song like that and putting it in perspective is like, is this really worth it? You know, after listening to this song, you know, is suicide really worth it? I mean, he's not the only one that's ever rapped about suicide. You had Logic. He had a song with the suicide prevention hotline number as his title.
Mm.
So, I mean, they are definitely out there. It's just a matter of finding them, so to speak.
And that can be hard, especially especially if you don't have like good role models in your life or influences of people to point you in that direction. Because if everybody's listening to the same thing, it's kind of hard to like deviate from it and search for something else. Like you have to be very intentional, especially like the younger you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get older, you know, we get a little bit more wise, but you know, kids, teenagers, you know, they're so influenced by almost any and everything, you know, that the music, they don't even, when I was listening to it when I was young, I didn't think nothing of it. You know, I thought everybody listened to it. You know, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't find a problem with it. It was just, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the problem. I don't think a lot of people know. You know, and it's that's just what it is. I mean, I know it might sound elementary to say that I didn't know this was bad to listen to, or this is hurting me, or well, the darn sure ain't helping.
Yeah.
You know, it's not helping you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we got to sit up and listen to worship music 24/7. You know, I'm not doing that, man. But I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can listen to it, but I can't listen. I mean, I don't know. With my wife, she can listen to it all day. That's just her. But I listen to it when I feel like I need to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know. Let's see. Carlos says, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Some artists were able to make decent music with not a horrible message, scratching a living, but yeah, most just go with either what sells more or just what can come
Oh
easy.
yeah.
It didn't used to always be like that though. Like if you just look at the history of rap music, like it wasn't always like that. Like in the days of, you know, Big Daddy Kane, Run DMC, LL Cool J. It was so different back then. It was so different.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, things started to change. Maybe around 1990, somewhere between 92 and 94. Things started changing. Now there's a whole theory as behind what that was and how it happened. And some people think it started in California and just worked its way over throughout the East Coast, you know, with NWA and stuff like that. It very well could be, you know, I don't want to make this about why music shifted the way that it did. I mean, because we'll be here all night. You know, we probably can talk about that another time, but it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of
Dembo? Nope.
Dembo? Who's that?
Debo?
Exactly. We heard of Debo. If the older people don't guide the younger growing, we won't get better. And that, Carlos, that's exactly where I am right now. So that is where my TikTok is dedicated to. My TikTok is my target audience is young people between 15 and 25 years old, because I feel like between that time period, that's when you feel like you grown.
Yeah.
You feel like you know stuff, you know what I'm saying? So and I do agree when you say that older people, and I know, don't cringe up, y'all, but that's us. That's us. And we ain't talking about grandma and grandpa. We're talking about us. Like when you say older people don't got the younger, like we're older.
Yep.
You know, I made some videos the other day. I was reading the comments, and it was a young lady that was 21, another guy was in his 20s. He was like, "Man, I appreciate OG." I'm like, "Well, you ain't got to say that."
That's beyond our age.
You ain't got to say, I said, "I ain't no OG, man.
we
What you talking about? I ain't even
we the
40 years
unks
old
right
yet,
now.
man. Hold it."
We are
OG.
unks.
Yeah, man, we unk. OG, that's like what, 50 plus, right?
That's 50 plus.
Come on now. Y'all better stop with that mistake. But he's right. Absolutely right. Whole society shift, music just went along with it. Yes. Yes, it did. And the bad thing about this is ain't no stopping it.
Right.
It's just there's nothing we can do to stop it.
Yeah. People are gonna keep on coming.
It's gonna keep coming. People gonna keep listening to it no matter what. Like no matter how much evidence you give people, it's not enough. They're just gonna keep listening to it. But there will be people who do wake up at some point. Like I said, I woke up later in life, and there are people who are waking up little by little. So,
yep.
All right. Home, were you gonna say something?
No.
Okay. All right. So, high and low vibrations in music, beats, melodies. So, I'm not necessarily talking about like the lyrics. Yeah. All right. So the reason I put this on here, earlier this year, I was doing some research on let's go back in time. 7.5 years ago, I started doing research on vibrations from the different type of music that we listen to.
Okay.
And our body is made of like 70+% water.
Mm-hmm.
So they did like some experiment with water and the vibration from the music that played out of a speaker. So they put the water under the microscope, like at very, very, very microscopic lens or whatever. So they would play the music. They didn't even have to play it very loud. They would play the music on the table with the water. And depending on, they would play rap music, rock music, classical, all these different genres. And the water, it moved differently. Now, if you go to YouTube, you that experiment, I think, is still there.
Okay.
I think I saw it earlier this year. It's still there. I know more than one person has done it. But it was so interesting how some of those melodies caused the water to separate. Some of them caused the water to move together. Some of it caused the water to be like, it looked like chaos, like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be like rock, certain metal music. And the worst of the worst was rap music. That was the worst of it. Was the worst because just about all music, utilizes some sort of instrument.
Mm-hmm.
A piano, guitar, saxophone, stuff like that, and rap music. And I'm not saying all, but a lot of rap music doesn't.
Yeah, it's mainly like 808s and hi-hats.
Yeah. So rap music is actually a low vibrational music. And not to get all scientific, but science says that when you listen to that, you're operating in a low. And I'm not that type of high positive vibes and vibration. I'm not that type of person, but I do believe that when you listen to certain music, it causes you to feel a certain type of way. It causes you to act a certain type of way. Degeneracy tends to follow with low vibrational sounds, you know, versus a high vibrational sound, something that sounds angelic, happy, classical. That's high. That's considered high vibrational. And if you go to YouTube and you type in, like, I don't understand the whole megahertz and stuff like that, but I just know that high vibrational music, and type it in, click it, and then you'll hear it what it sounds like. And they'll be like, play this while you sleep for 8 hours, which I'm not gonna do, but you know.
I just listen to the rainfall. I put on the ambient music.
I don't do none of that stuff to go to sleep, man. Why are y'all struggling to go to sleep? But yeah, so high and low vibration is, we hear that a lot, like our vibrations and stuff like that. But why does it seem like nobody's talking about, you know, why rap music is low vibrational? You know, there's gonna be people that argue with it and try to say that that's a lie. Like, no, it's not. Like, there's nothing good about it.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, there is nothing good about it at all. It's literally garbage. Like, it's literally bottom of the barrel music.
Dang.
It's so bad at the bottom that it's barely even considered music.
Wow.
But yeah, people championize it. I mean, folks, listen to what you want. I don't care what you listen to, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't listen to it. You know, what we listen to does play a role in how we turn out and how we act and how we treat people. So, yeah.
Definitely agree with that one. You know, like I said, for me, it definitely, the genre the music I listen to depends on my mood for sure. So, and I'm sure that's for everybody in this chat as well. Like Maddie said, it depends on her mood. You know, with especially now with Christian hip hop, Christian rap, because I think at this point you can almost like separate the two, because Christian hip hop to me is more like we're rapping about God. Christian rap is more like it's on the verge. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like
some of it is very on the verge.
Yeah, like it. The message, you can hear the message, but they're taking it like they're switching it around, like to make it sound like it's secular music. And I get it, because you're trying to win over the secular music people to come over this way. You know, that's why some of these songs got like the you know, the beats that secular hip hop music has.
Yeah.
You know, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Yeah. Music make you lose control if you're not careful. You know, control the music that you listen to. Like I said, listen to whatever you want, but you know, just ask yourself a question like, is what I'm listening to actually helping me? Like, is it making me better?
Yeah.
You know, because some people, I don't know, they'll just argue and be like, I just like it. Like, how do you just like something? Like, why do you like it? Like, how do you just like it? Like, it's got to be something, a reason why you like it. What is it doing for you? So, you know, I'm going to ask those type of questions. But for me, I'm not going to listen to anything that's not benefiting me.
Or your family. Yep.
You know, yeah, exactly. Oh, especially my kids. Yeah. Yeah, so, absolutely. Is there anything else that we need to cover here or need to add? Or I mean, I feel like we've hit
I
some
think
very
we've
good
hit.
points here.
I think we have hit a good portion. Good communication, good conversation rather,
Right.
between us in the chat. Again, we definitely appreciate you guys' comments and opinions and sometimes disagreements.
Yes. Carlos says rain falling.
Background music hits different. It does.
Yes. If it's real, it's even better.
All right. Especially if you got a tin roof. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, yeah, you're gonna be sleeping like a baby.
Man. It don't matter if it's a tornado coming my way. I'm still gonna be knocked out. So wake up in the morning, I'm like, what happened?
Carlos said the hertz interact with our body on a molecular level. I like that. Ooh, yeah, I like that right there. That's true. Absolutely. Well, folks, I mean, we are definitely really enjoyed this conversation.
Yes.
Like I said, we were supposed to do it last week, and life happens, but we're here. And we're just excited to get ready to get things rolling for next week, because this week, a week from today, we'll be in Houston. So y'all be on the lookout, for us to go live. I don't know what time. I mean, I can't really disclose that.
Right. Just be on the lookout.
Yeah, just keep the notifications on, and we'll.
Yep.
And
actually today we were going to try something new. We were actually going to try to go live on TikTok, but when we went live, the stream froze up on us. So we were like, maybe not so much.
My man was looking to the left. And I was like this. I was like, is he asleep? Like,
yeah.
The screen froze up.
But I think what we're gonna do, and I think it'll be pretty cool. One of us could go live on TikTok, and well, just go live on YouTube or Twitch, however the case may be. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, have you packed your bag yet?
I have packed my cosplay bag rather.
Okay.
I hadn't got the clothes yet.
I got to do that. I'm gonna start packing this weekend. I still have a couple of things to get for the cosplay, and I'm straight. So
yeah.
All right, folks. Hopefully everybody out there has an amazing rest of your day and a great weekend. I'll say it in advance. Happy Memorial Day. If you're here in the States, of course. If you're off, enjoy it. If you're not off, then make your money.
Yep. I'm
not too much of a TikTok person. I try to support there. Yeah, TikTok has been good to me, Carlos. Like, I never thought that I would say that, but it's been real good to me. So there's a lot I don't know about that platform, but we'll see how it goes.
Beard Kage going to Texas? No, Beard Kage is not going this time. He's not going this year. Y'all just gonna have to wait to see what I got.
You'll like it, and you'll love it, no matter what it is.
I'm taking 3, with only probably gonna wear 2, just in case.
Yeah, so I meant to respond to that message. Yeah, I'm just gonna do 2, if that. Be honest with you, man. I kind of want to like walk around as me too.
Yeah. Yep. So.
All right, y'all. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Be blessed. Stay safe out there, and watch that music that you listen to, because it does affect you, man. So, y'all take it easy.
Now you might be listening to our music here soon. So just get ready.
Well, I need to be safe. What does that say? I'm still waiting on
Maestro D.
Maestro D. All right, Carlos. Good night, man. I'll see y'all later.
Later.
Y'all know me, Big the Legend G, with my co-host Initial D, bringing that heat in the Twitch street. Grab your popcorn, kick up your feet, sit back, relax. We about to blow. Welcome to our channel. Enjoy the show. Ayy.
Hard conversation, brain stimulation, BGID, no imitation. Look, pull up on the mic. Two bitty guys is rocking the night. Sub on YouTube and follow on Twitch. I guarantee it's gonna be a hit. It's showtime.